express enough how pleased we are that you've decided to work with us. Ooh, let's step away from the window, Dr. Prabhakar. If you could just sit down for us, please.
Just ignore me.
I'll watch the door.
Doctor, where's the testing done?
Pokhran in the Rajasthan desert. You guys already know this.
Where are the devices designed?
Bhabha Atomic Research Center near Mumbai, where I'm a senior physicist.
Since when?
1996.
I just need a little lock of hair. It's for my wig maker.
Tell me about your uranium enrichment program in Mysore.
There's a centrifuge that produces deuterium and tritium.
Just holds hair in here.
CIA uses saran wrap.
Well, I get caught with saran wrap. I don't get arrested for espionage.
Deuterium and tritium. That would be for a hydrogen bomb?
Yes, that is true.
Stand perfectly still.
Soldiers and Intelligence Bureau.
Were you followed?
No?
Do it. Do it. What's going on?
We need to search the room.
Why?
Please, stand aside. Please.
बाथरूम में देखो, इधर अलमारी में देखो, उस पर्दे के पीछे देखो, अलमारी में देखो उधर। बाहर कीजिए देखो, जल्दी करो, चलो।
Stay where you are. It's all right, honey.
I'm sorry, ma'am, sir. Sir.
चलो, अगला कमरा, चलो, 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 चलो।
You really commit, don't you?
It's the price of freedom.
All right.
You boys getting along?
We're fine. Let's wrap this up and get out of here. Where's my pants?
On this Thanksgiving, we come to this table with gratitude for the wisdom of the old, for the courage of the young, for the strength that comes when needed. Of those to whom much is given, much is required. May we and all our children remember this always. Amen.
Looks great, Mom.
Try those mashed potatoes.
So how are things in Washington?
Tough. The agency's under a lot of pressure right now. We're doing the best we can.
You'll get through it.
Did you ever see that girl Eric was dating? Lisa?
Sure.
She was very nice.
How you guys doing?
What?
Are you taking care of yourselves?
We're fine.
I'm gonna find out what happened to Eric. I'm gonna speak to the casualty affairs officer. See if I can get some straight answers. Mrs. Orland. I'm Matt Callan. I was hoping I could speak to your husband.
Mary, where is it?
Mr. Orland. Matt Callan, you didn't return my calls.
I haven't been returning your calls because I didn't want to talk to you.
I just want to know what happened to my brother.
Mary?
This is a tremendous break. We've been trying to get somebody inside their hydrogen bomb development program for years. India and Pakistan at a flashpoint now. If either side provokes the other into
We've
launching
all read
first.
the papers, Mr. Musgrave. What's Dr. Prabhakar's motivation in coming to us?
Money.
What kind of launch system do they have?
Mainly aircraft. Dr. Prabhakar says that they're developing cruise missiles to deliver higher yield weapons, like hydrogen bombs.
It's not good.
Not good at all. Bigger bombs, better delivery systems. They get reckless. Pakistan gets
They're
scared.
scared already.
Yeah, but with cruise missiles, that could lead to nuclear war.
Mr. Musgrave, if you're going to be in these meetings, could you try to be a little less dramatic?
Sorry, sir.
Thanks for coming down. I need you to take a look at something. Our satellite pass over the Sea of Japan took this shot this morning. Vladivostok, your old station. You ever seen this sub?
It's Russian Scat class. The numbers have been removed. It used to be the Scorpion's berth before it was decommissioned. May I? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I went home, saw my father.
How was he?
He's worried about me
Because of the state of the world?
because he's my father.
This is weird.
What?
I know that guy, Victor Krymov. He's a Scorpion skipper.
Are you sure?
What's this all about?
Iraq has been making inquiries about buying a Russian sub, crew and all. Maybe the Scorpion is going to be recommissioned. How are your parents?
Can we, talk for a sec? In private?
We should assume the worst. That Indian security may know we're developing an agent. They were looking for someone in that hotel. Future meetings with Dr. Prabhakar could entail substantial risk.
Which would be mitigated by disguise. These are all quick apply operations.
I don't think we can trust him.
Terry?
Trust who?
Dr. Prabhakar.
His intel was good.
I know.
Why shouldn't we trust him, Miss Lowell?
His face. Look. I took these to construct a wire frame to build my disguises. This is when our India case officer checked out the noise outside the hall. There. Our man's telling us he's seen the soldiers. See?
His face. If Prabhakar gets caught, we get thrown out of the country. But he gets charged with treason, probably executed. He should be terrified.
But he doesn't even seem surprised.
Russell Orland, casualty affairs officer. He won't speak to me. I asked my parents about it. My father goes on about football. My mother passes the mashed potatoes. The only person who said anything to me about it was Hazley, and he was drunk.
What did he say?
That Eric didn't have to die.
Hazley said that?
What?
I told you, Matt. It's classified.
I wasn't here when it happened. You were. You must have had some questions.
I didn't.
You didn't want to know?
No,
Why?
because the only reason Eric took that assignment, the only reason he was in Kosovo at all was because I wouldn't marry him.
Lisa, there was a war going on. He would have been there regardless.
The day before we found out that Eric was missing, Hazley came to see me. He wanted files on the Kosovo Liberation Army. Hazy wasn't working on Kosovo.
Kosovo Liberation Army.
The day before Eric disappeared, you got interested in it. You pulled a file.
Hey. You talked to Fabrizi.
Now I'm talking to you. You tell me there's no connection between that file and my brother, and I'll go away.
Ms. Lowell, after careful consideration, I've decided to fire you for insubordination. Keep up the good work.
We've decided to test Dr. Prabhakar to see if he's working as a double agent for Indian intelligence. We're going to ask him to mail a letter for us.
Filled with bogus top secrets. A letter that'll be returned to us. If it arrives untampered with, your deduction about the good doctor's character will be proved wrong. But if we catch any fingers in this honeypot,
I get to keep my job.
we'll see.
You know that I missed Thanksgiving with my children this year. This is the first holiday that I've ever missed with them. But South Asia is a dangerous place right now, and the world...
Jackson.
Your brother called me, and I was trying to help him. We were bombing Serbia, and a Serbian code clerk was working for us. And the Serbs knew that they had a traitor in their midst, and they were on his trail. And Eric was sent into Belgrade to try to get him out. There was a detailed plan, and everything was set. But something went wrong. Eric called me unofficially. He said that there was something wrong with their exfiltration packages, that he needed another way out. I checked the file on the KLA to see if there were any friendly forces in the area. A lot of the file was blacked out. So I tried to get it cleared.
But you weren't authorized. You weren't working on Kosovo.
What I could read said that there was a KLA force in a town called Glajny. I told him I couldn't see the whole file, but from what I could see, it looked safe. And I never spoke to him again.
Sir, you have a visitor named of Orland?
Russell Orland?
No, sir. Mary Orland.
I think after a while,
Mr. Orland.
My wife thinks I need help. Are you a psychiatrist?
You know who I am.
The agency must have something more important to do than to harass a former employee.
I did some research on you, sir. When Donald Jaffe died, you helped his children get college scholarships. While Frank Soto was spending 20 years in a Chinese prison, you made sure he got raises and promotions.
When Donald Jaffe died, I told his wife it happened in a car crash in Delaware. It was an ambush in Nicaragua.
Okay, so what story did you tell my parents?
Oh, I believe the agency still shares information on a need-to-know basis.
I need to know.
When someone goes out under an alias, they have to fill out a form. And one of the questions is, what should we do if you vanish without a trace? Your brother wrote, try and find me.
Did you?
I can't tell you anything.
It happened 2 years ago in a war that's over.
Have you spoken with your father?
What story did your parents tell you?
There is nothing to be gained by this.
Orland is telling me something different.
He has no right to tell you anything.
We're talking about your son.
He told me that everyone was very sorry. Brought me a condolence letter from the director. After I read it, he took it back. National security.
That's it?
Around here, we take national security pretty seriously. I thought you people did too.
You people?
I've got a carrier group waiting to hear if it's supposed to go left or right. If you'll excuse me.
Fresh writing paper, manufactured in Jodhpur, available at any stationery store in Delhi, and fingerprint-free. Mr. Sanib, if you will take my dictation, please, in Hindi. My dear good friend, please extend best wishes to Aunt Indira and wish her a speedy recovery from her recent dental surgery.
Aunt Indira will be touched.
We're ready if you are. You have something that sounds juicy?
Juicy but meaningless. I've received your last communication. Need you to follow up with order of battle
Good. Disappearing already.
for the 4th Mountain Division. Out of Kasser. Moving toward Ichogil Canal.
How do you spell Ichigil?
If they attempt to read that message by iodine fuming, the paper will absorb traces of the iodine and will know. Very nice. Indian intelligence steams the flap. The wax grid melts and disappears.
So we'll know they've opened it.
Address.
Commercial mail drop in Bangalore. The clerk works for us.
So what are we telling Dr. Prabhakar? Why we can't mail our own letter?
Just tell the authorities are watching our people. Dr. Prabhakar's been contacted through his dead drop. Our officer Gupta has signaled a meet for tomorrow morning.
कोई तुम्हारे पीछे खड़ा था जाओ के चले जाओ मेरे ख्याल से पुलिस नहीं हमें आपकी मदद चाहिए बिल्कुल क्या है जितना कम जानो उतना अच्छा है सिर्फ मेल बॉक्स में ही डाल देने का है खरीद तो है श्योर ताक खाने में डाल के चले जाओ ए
Now you see it, now you don't.
Where's the submarine?
Headed south.
To Iraq?
It's $40 million of Iraq's money sitting in a bank in the Cayman Islands. It hasn't moved.
Maybe it's cash on delivery.
So who do we bribe in Vladivostok to find out where it's going?
I'll trade you. One list of corrupt naval officers for a look at the file that you showed Hazley the day before Eric disappeared.
You're not cleared, Matt.
Neither was he. This is half deleted. What the hell's so secret?
We were about to go to war with Serbia over Kosovo. It might have been operational material.
See if you can find anything on Glajny. That's where Hazley sent Eric to hook up with the KLA.
That's the KLA commander.
Raiden Stavro. The guy Eric was supposed to connect with.
Yeah, but to get to him, Eric would have had to pass through Serb territory controlled by Miko Petrovic.
General Petrovic? Lisa, Petrovic's on trial for slaughtering Albanian civilians. My brother might have been carrying papers saying he was Albanian. I appreciate you seeing me.
I don't have much time. I go back to The Hague in a few days, and I have a life here to catch up on. I think I've had a suit at the dry cleaner for 16 months.
You're prosecuting Miko Petrovic.
I have that pleasure. Why?
Maybe interested in one of his crimes.
Is it CIA business?
No?
So you have a personal interest in his massacre of Albanians in Kosovo?
I think he may have killed someone I know. Would have happened near Glazny in June of 1999.
That'd be news to us. Everything Petrovic did took place 100 miles away and later.
Maybe somebody else?
Not near Glazny. If you know anything, let me know. I'd love to prosecute some more of these bastards.
Dad.
So much for our stepped-up security.
Hazley sent me to Orland. Orland sent me to you. Hazley told me everything he knows. You haven't.
It's not the time.
It's never the time. What are you so afraid of? Talk to me. Tell me what happened to my brother.
Your brother would never behave like this. If the situation were reversed. Eric was a Marine. He knew his place.
Not in Kosovo, he didn't. He was lost. Out there all alone.
This is killing your mother. You know? What you're doing is killing her.
What about what you're doing? She can't even mention his name without you shutting her down. Do you ever talk to her about this?
Matt, there is no body.
What?
I don't know what the funeral home put in that coffin. They made me sign a legal release acknowledging that I knew the casket was empty.
Mail call. First, we look to see if they left fingerprints. In hydrant, please. Thank you. Come, you ridges and whirls.
Nothing.
We wear gloves. Maybe they wear gloves. Shall we trace for iodine? If they fumed it to raise the magic writing, we should see black specks, which we don't.
Let's do the envelope.
The wax grid is undisturbed. Maybe Dr. Prabhakar is on our team after all.
Or they went in through the side flap.
The glue we use on the side flaps can't be steamed.
What if they went in dry like you did? And re-glued?
I tore the thing up, it'd be obvious.
You tore it up using a knife. My instructor at the farm told me that you used to use an ivory tool. Very slick, very sharp, thin.
I would never use ivory. Ivory's illegal, endangered species. But when I did, it left microscopic fiber disturbances.
Like these?
Exactly.
You can see the fiber disturbances. Here, here.
This indicates hostile entry.
It is with true regret we must inform.
That'd be a yes.
So, Dr. Prabhakar is a dangle from the India Intelligence Bureau.
Well, first we should try to find out why they ran him against us. What are they trying to learn? What are they trying to protect?
Prabhakar told us they're working on a
cruise missile system to deliver their weapons, presumably air-launched. He knew that's where we'd focus our attention.
As we speak, a Russian nuclear submarine, launch-capable, is on its way to its new owner, India.
I want you to go back to India and talk to the good doctor.
To drop him or play him?
Tell him the truth.
I was only authorized to tell one person. It was usually the father if there wasn't a body. And I'd ask him to keep it a secret. That's how we did things.
So, why bother? Why even pretend?
Closure. Funerals made the families feel a little better, and it kept them off our backs.
It didn't make me feel better.
You want a beer?
Sure.
You know what a fight we had to even get our own memorial? People died in secret, serving their nation, and it remained a secret, or a lie. Cover for eternity.
So is having a star on our wall with no name next to it.
Most of them will get their names on someday, including your brother. It just seems so unnecessary.
What did? My brother's death?
Oh, I don't know about that. I meant about the body.
There is no body.
No, there is. At least there's supposed to be. Somebody went in to get it.
Who?
You're putting your job at risk, Matt. You know that. And Orland, he has no right to be saying these things.
Who said I got anything from Russell Orland?
You're not exactly being covert, Matt. If this were a field operation, you'd be arrested by now, or dead.
Like Eric?
Not like Eric. He didn't blow his own cover.
Then who did?
Nobody. He wasn't killed because he was a spy.
Ethnic cleansing. Serbs killing Albanians. He was carrying the wrong papers. Why did you just leave him there? We don't do that to each other, Carl. We're supposed to be protecting the American people if we can't even protect each other.
We tried, Matt. When Eric disappeared, Hazley came to me. He wanted a satellite sweep of a village in Kosovo.
Hazley wasn't working on Kosovo.
He told me what happened. He was pretty desperate. I was close to your brother, too. I ordered the satellite sweep. The images came back. The village was deserted. But on the hills nearby, there was a patch of disturbed ground like somebody had been plowing. But there was nobody around to plow.
Mass grave.
I went in the next day with a NATO team. They opened it up. There were 50 bodies. Women, old people, kids.
And Eric?
There were a dozen people from half a dozen countries. I couldn't pull him out without giving him away.
He was dead.
The war wasn't. Our operation wasn't. People who'd helped him were still in Belgrade. There were still secrets to protect. Hell, there's stars on the memorial wall that don't have names after 50 years. The need for secrecy doesn't end when someone dies. You know that.
NATO never reported a mass grave in that village.
That's as far as I can go.
I spoke with the Deputy Attorney General prosecuting war criminals at The Hague. They had nothing from Glasny. There were a dozen people from NATO there. Nobody said a word. Our entire rationale for the war were Serbian crimes against Albanians. Why would we cover up a Serbian atrocity? We wouldn't. The Serbs didn't kill him.
Come in, Doctor.
Is it safe here?
Absolutely.
I was surprised to hear from you so soon, so suddenly. I thought there was to be a disguise. I took all the precautions you gave me from before. I don't think I was followed.
Keep talking.
What are you doing?
I'm reading you for radio wave emissions.
What?
You're clean. You haven't been honest with me.
I don't understand. Something is wrong, information incorrect. I will try to fix.
You was wrong. You lied to me. You abused my trust.
How?
The Russian submarine is heading back to Vladivostok. Our State Department intervened.
What submarine?
The one you told us about. Do you recognize that handwriting?
I never wrote this. You are setting me up.
All the details of your country's purchase of a Scat-class Russian submarine to be used as a nuclear delivery platform. That's your copy. You should keep that. Ours is in Washington, and this one's for Pakistan.
You would give it to our enemy?
No, you would. We'll pass it in such a way that your people will intercept it and discover that it's coming from you.
They won't believe that.
You're already a double agent, Doctor. Anyone who can twist 2 times can twist a 3rd. You're working for us now. Here's a list of questions that you'll tell your handlers I asked you.
Our space program? You don't care.
No, of course not, but we'll let your intelligence bureau think we do, and then I'll tell you what we really want to know, and you will answer me 1 question at a time while we make sure that you're telling us the truth. Here's a down payment. You have to sign for it.
Received from Pakistan Inter-Service Intelligence?
Just in case you decide to get clever. I missed Thanksgiving with my children because of you, because I thought that you were important. You better be.
How'd it go?
In the spirit of the holidays, we came to an understanding.
Good work, Jackson.
Thank you.
See me when you get back.
Yes, sir.
Matt, you want to have a seat?
I want answers. I think I have the right.
No, you don't. Not to violate operational security, not to breach need to know.
I just want the truth about my brother.
You aren't cleared for the truth.
You could have stopped this from happening.
How?
Hazley told me he tried to get this declassified. That means he came to see you. You wouldn't let him see what was in it.
I didn't know why Hazley wanted to see it. I didn't know he was making unauthorized travel plans for your brother. I thought your brother was carrying out his orders.
He had problems with his orders. He told Hazley there was something wrong with his exfiltration packages.
No. His exfil packages were perfect. There was one for him and one for the code clerk he was bringing out. But the code clerk wasn't alone. He had his wife and his son with him, and he wanted to bring them out too. Eric called his chief of station, who told him that the Serbs were already looking for our spy. He told Eric to get the code clerk out. We'd get the family later.
If they weren't arrested first?
The priority was our spy and your brother. But Eric wouldn't leave without the family.
Well, I can understand that.
He disobeyed orders, and he died. And the code clerk died, and the wife and the boy. If I had known why Hazley wanted to see what was in that file, I would have told him in an instant, and I would have stopped your brother and saved him.
From who? The Serbs didn't kill him.
No, they didn't. Eric ran into a KLA patrol. They were supposed to be on our side, led by the man he was looking for.
Stavro, our Albanian ally.
Yes. The Serbs were killing Albanians. Stavro decided to return the favor.
They'd rounded up the entire village, women, children. They knew what was happening. They knew there was no escape.
We debriefed one of his men a few months later. He was there when your brother arrived. Eric had fake Serbian papers. The wrong papers to have. And when he figured out what was happening, he told Stavro who he really was. He tried to stop him, but the killing had already begun, and Stavro didn't want an American CIA officer as witness.
We never reported it because Stavro was on our side. Where is he now?
In Kosovo.
Free.
When enough time has passed, we'll deal with him. I'm sorry about your brother, Matt.
Is his body still there? I want to bury him.
When we were little, my brother used to torture me. See, from my point of view, he was always so much better than me at everything. Stronger, clearer, much greater character. And as I grew up, I decided I'd be lucky if I could just become half the man he was. Like another man for whom I have great respect. Family was everything for my brother. Our mom was a shining star, supportive to the end, telling us we were great. And as much as I know this is going to embarrass you, Dad, Eric knew your heart. I think he was able to get there better than just about anybody. Of those to whom much is given, much is required. Eric lived by those words. He gave his life for them. And for his greater family, his country. To the people who Eric served, whom I serve now, I have nothing but gratitude. Mistakes happen. Despite best intentions, things go wrong. We have to accept that. Or we'll always be living a life of what might have been instead of what could be. Eric knew what could be. Love, freedom, safer world. All of us here today are a part of Eric Callan's legacy. The best way to honor him is to live life like he did. Stronger, clearer, and with much greater character.
Mr. Callan.
Thanks for coming.
I've always wanted to see the CIA. You said you had something for me?
Evidence of a war crime committed by Aiden Stavro.
Evidence from where?
He's somewhere in Kosovo. I don't know if it's enough to make a case.
Well, if it is, we'll go after him.
If it's not, let me know.